Hello team, I am here because I had a few things that I've been thinking about. I am driving, so I can't stare at the phone the whole time, but I needed to come on here and first tell our team that I couldn't be more impressed with you guys. You are killing it. You are participating in the contest. You are participating in that pop-up contest that Stacy did. You guys are all really doing things. Hold on, this is a little, give me 1 second. Okay. You're all really doing things that is building your business every day. And it's also building you. Like this business is not just about, signing customers and distributors. Obviously that's a big, huge part of it. And, the goal is to be successful. But I'll tell you something, a lot of you are pretty new on the team, and then the ones that are not, I'm sure you've heard this story before, but I'll briefly tell you that when I started this business 3 years ago, my family was in the worst financial position we had ever been in. And yet I still did not start this business for the money. Over the years, I have come to be more excited about the concept of making a ton of money, and I have removed a ton of blocks because I realized I had a lot of things from my past that made me not necessarily believe that I deserved to have money, if that makes sense. But thank God for the EFT tapping and all of the work that we put into ourselves. It just makes us better people. But at the time, my husband had gotten hurt at work. He had gotten fired 7 days later, filed workman's comp, and it took a very long time, court cases and everything, to finally get all of that approved. And in that time frame, no, that's too dark. That's too late. Is that better? A little better. In that time frame, he had we barely were getting by. We were like $6,000 behind on our rent. We had roommates and we had some serious issues with them, so we had to have them leave, which was actually John's brother. It's a whole other story. Then we actually had other roommates come in, and that turned into be a disaster. It's really hard to find people to live with you that are okay enough for your kids to be around, obviously. So with all of that said, I should not have taken even $1 to start a business that I knew nothing about. But for 7 months, I'd been following Stacy because she had done some silly, stupid video with a girl that I grew up with, Kellyanne McLaughlin, and I just was like, wow, this girl is fun. And I reached out to Kellyanne, and she was kind of in and out of the business, and I reached out to Stacy, and we talked, and she did everything she was supposed to do. She'd reach out to me once a week, check in with me, tell me about all the different deals that were going on. I mean, I passed up $50 deal. I passed up a $9.99 deal to start because at the time I was like, I cannot do it. But then I came to this place in my life where I felt like I just didn't know who I was anymore. I had been a recovering addict for a while. I hadn't really put a lot of the work in. I was still not in a good place with my family, my parents and my siblings. Like, nobody liked me, nobody trusted me. Life was hard. We had been evicted twice from apartments because we couldn't afford them due to jobs and loss of jobs, and we just could not get it together. And it was heart-wrenching at the thought of thinking I was going to have to tell my kids again. I always cry at this part, I'm sorry. But to tell them again that we were going to have to try to find somewhere else to live, and that in the meantime we were going to have to split up and live with other family because no one's going to take 4 people in, and I was willing to do anything and everything that I could do to make that not happen. But I knew I needed to change. I knew I needed to be a better person for me to get better things. I've always believed in karma, and many years ago I didn't do a lot of good things, and so I believed that this was all karma coming back to me. Anywho, I had just realized that I needed to make the changes. And on the other side of it, my kids were getting older, and for so many years I was Jake and Jeff's mom, and I was starting to try to figure out what is my identity outside of just being Jake and Jeff's mom. And any of you that have older kids, or even if you don't have kids, trying to find a new purpose in your life, and it can be difficult, and changes of our lives it's just crazy. But I joined this business. I took money away from a bill that I had, and John wound up getting his workman's comp, thank God, and I started working at a used car dealership in the office. I was also doing Uber, just to do whatever I could. And I was putting everything else I had into this business. And I'll tell you, it has become something for me that is so much bigger than a paycheck. It's become a part of me. I have been to Florida now three times. I've been to Florida 3 times, 2 conferences and 1 in Bradenton. I had never been to Florida before this business. I have been traveling. I've been to Tennessee. I'm going to Tennessee again because I will be going to Gatlinburg. I have met people that have become my closest friends. And I never thought in a million years that online, doing anything, I would meet people that were truly, truly my best friends. I talk to Jen on the phone a lot. She knows me very, very well, and we talk often. We used to call them my bubble bath chats because I would talk to her while I was sitting in the bath every single night. She supports me and she cares about me, and I didn't have that in my life. I didn't have good, solid women who truly wanted good things for me. I just didn't have it. So to have that all from a business online is just, it's life-changing. It truly, truly is life-changing. And I'll tell you, I would literally pay $99 10 times over to join this business. Now this year, 2020, as crazy of a year as it was, I had learned to dream. I had learned to see that I deserved more, that I was going to work hard for more. Back at our leadership retreat, not this last one, but the one before it, we had this exercise where we got together with a partner and we just listed out a bunch of different things that we wanted for ourselves. Where do we want to be in 5 years, a year, 2 years, whatever it was. And I got to be with Hannah, and one of them was that I wanted to own a home. One was I wanted Jake to go to college where he could, and I wanted to pay for his books. And one was I wanted to take a family vacation with my, like a real vacation. We'd gone camping and stuff, but I wanted to do like a real vacation. And another one was that I wanted to own a decent car. Those were like 4 things that I know some of them seem materialistic, but it's just things that I wanted that I didn't have before. And in 2020 and going into 2021, I've completed, and not completed, but I've gained all of those dreams. I've crushed them. I now own a home with my husband. We have spent the last 10 months renovating it, making it our home, making it our own. We've done a ton of work to it. I have a 2012, which may not be like a big deal, but it's a Chevy Tahoe, which are very high in value, and I love it. And I'm financing it in my own name. My credit is really good. I have money in the savings. I am able to pay my bills without freaking out. And my family and I, God willing, that COVID doesn't change us, are going to Clearwater, Florida in April. And Jacob is in school, he's in college, and this semester is the first one where he has to pay out of pocket for books. And he just told me it's going to be $745, and I just wrote him a check for $745. And that to me is like, that's amazing. That is amazing. So let me tell you guys, okay, if you don't have a why that makes you cry, you need to find one. If you don't have a desire to want more for yourself, you need to figure out why. I grew up in a house where we did not have a lot. We had a beautiful home, but my family struggled financially so badly. And I believed that by me making money and being able to pay my bills without the struggle, that I was somehow like, I was like betraying my parents because they worked so hard to have good things and they just never got there. But now my mom and dad are proud of me, and my mom said, "No, I never wanted you to not want good things. I want to know that whatever happens, that my 5 kids are okay." And now my other 4 siblings were all in a really good place. She said, "But now I know you are too." And I owe all of that to this business. So I cannot tell you guys how important it is to figure out your why. It's ever changing. If you're doing it correctly, it should be ever changing. And truly, if it doesn't make you tear up, even just a little bit, even if you're not a crier, but if it doesn't make you tear up just a little bit, then you might want to dig a little deeper and do a little more tapping, a little more personal development, Personal development saved me in this business because I was almost ready to quit because I couldn't take it. Couldn't take all the stress and everything that was going on. And I'll tell you one more quick story. I had messaged in my team chat, me, Jen, and Stacy, and I was being very negative. You know, I'm like, John, this, and we don't have this money, and I can't do this, and I'm da-da-da-da-da. And Jen calls me up, and she says, and I think it was the first time, if not a second time, and she says to me, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And I said, what? She goes, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to say whatever you got to say. Just get it out there. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, does this bitch know who I am? What do you mean 2 minutes? Don't tell me what I'm going to... That was me. That was my, like, negativity me. That was who I was. And so I was like, and John this, and I don't have this money, and I can't this, and I don't know what to do, and nobody's signing, and nobody's this. And like 2.5 minutes in, she's like, okay, we're done. And I was like, what do you mean we're done? She's like, we're done. She's like, what are you doing for personal development? I say this all the time. I wish I could tell you what book or video she told me to watch or do. But whatever it was, I was like, whatever. That's cheesy. I'm not doing it. She's like, no, you need to. I'm like, I'm not doing it. It's cheesy. She said, do it. She said, sit in a room, sit in your bath. I don't care what you do, and do it. And I'll tell you, I wish I knew. I think it was Tony Robbins one, but I'm not sure. And I literally just broke down and cried. And I was like, oh my God. Like, this is what I'm missing. So your why, personal development, connecting with your people, connecting, whether it's customers, distributors, connecting with us is super important. I'm literally waiting in line at Chick-fil-A. My kids want a Chick-fil-A tonight. We now have one here. I had never even had Chick-fil-A until I went to Florida, by the way, with Jenny Spurn and Jen Rosenblatt. We got to have Chick-fil-A at conference and loved it. But it's Friday night. I just got out of work. Work was super crazy this week, so I am gonna treat myself because I've worked really hard to lose weight this week, and let my kids do what they want to do. And I don't know, guys, I love this team. I love what we're doing. I love how hard you're all working, and I couldn't be more proud of you guys. So thank you for inspiring me every time I see you guys comment, every time I see you post in our team chat or post in any of your posts. Anytime I see you guys doing what I know you need to do, I'm inspired for myself to continue to do it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. We are all going to be in Gatlinburg, and I cannot wait. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.